Good morning, class. Today's my topic of presentation is cardiac catheterization. So, what do you mean by cardiac catheterization? Actually, cardiac catheterization is, as the name suggests, the cardiac, and the catheter means, to insert the catheter inside the heart. So, it is a commonly performed and very highly accurate diagnostic procedure, and cardiac catheterization, which reveals the effects in the heart chambers, the valves, and the coronary arteries. Fluoroscopy is used, and the cardiologist actually inserts a catheter in both sides of the heart and measures the pressure and the cardiac output. So, by injecting the contrast media, the cardiologist can further define the structure of the structures of the coronary arteries and assess cardiac wall motion. Depending on the facility and the patient condition, cardiac catheterization is you know performed as either in inpatient or outpatient procedure. In indications like myocardial infarction or valvular heart disease or any kind of coronary artery bypass grafting or PTC or any recurrent symptoms, and after the heart transplantation to the monitor or the rejection. In these conditions, we can do the cardiac catheterization. And for the preparation of the patient, what we are going to do, we have to teach the patient about whatsoever the question and answer he is asking, or whatsoever the question is about the procedure from the patient side. You have to give it, and you have to answer those questions. You have to provide the booklets and educational tools to reinforce the learning. Actually, the cardiologist have some kind of benefits and risk, discuss the benefits and risk, such as the dysarrhythmia, about the bleeding, or about bleeding, stroke, or MI. Make sure that the patient has provided informed consent. Assess the allergies, or especially the significant allergies such as previous anaphylactic reaction to one or more allergens, including contrast media. Ask if there is a history of asthma, which is associated with increased likelihood of contrast reaction. We have to see for if the patient is having any kind of allergic medication is he is using, or including the lidocaine, the local anesthetic commonly used for vascular access. The patient may be instructed to fast for at least 3 to 8 hours before the surgery, because the procedure will because they will find some bit of difficulty during the procedure if the patient is having diet. And then the patient should have stop the medications like insulin, antihypertensive drug, or diuretics, that. And the physician may prescribe the pre-treatment prophylaxis for the patient with a history of contrast mediated allergy. The patient can have the allergy from the contrast as well. We have to establish the 2 IV access so that the IV infusion is to be given, and the patient should not go into the dehydration. Establish the as I told you, 2 venous access, and obtain specimen for lab test. That is, we have to go for the CBC, complete blood count, electrolytes, blood urea nitrogen, creatinine, the cardiac biomarkers, and the urinalysis or the coagulation studies. We have to obtain the chest X-ray and ECG during the procedure. All right. He the he the perform the patient will have to perform, the doctor has to perform the procedure either from the puncturing side, that is femoral, brachial, or the common carotid side. The common insertion sites are there, like brachial and arteries, like the brachial, and the femoral one, and the radial artery is also being used during this cardiac catheterization. We have to assess and mark the pulse that will be used, and we have to make the patient void. The patient can use his dentures and eyeglasses during the test. We have to administer the analgesics and sedatives as prescribed by the doctor. Now, during the procedure, what we are going to do, Actually, the test itself lasts for 30 minutes to 1 hour.
गारंटी ले लो जरा आप
Then, but the entire procedure includes the pre-cardiac catheterization or post-cardiac catheter. If we include these two, then the procedure will have for 4 hours, and tell the patient what to expect before including the following point. The patient will receive IV medication for the anxiety, and pain is needed, and pain as needed throughout the procedure. The testing takes place in cool, darkened room. He will lie on the special procedure table where X-rays can be taken, either by repositioning the table or by moving the X-ray machine around him. You should teach that he will be attached with the equipment for the continuous cardiac monitoring, BP monitoring, and the pulse oximetry monitoring. You have to tell that he will be awake throughout the procedure and may be asked to cough or to take the deep breath at certain times. Tell him that immediately report any unusual symptoms such as chest discomfort or trouble breathing. When contrast media is injected into the left ventricle, he or may feel warm or flushed for up to a minute. So after the test, the catheters are removed and bleeding is controlled with directly pressure or with a vascular closure device. He will be continuously assessed and monitored in a post-cardiac catheterization recovering area, and depending on this condition and the method used to stop bleeding, he will spend some time on bed rest with effective extremity immobilized. We have to immobilize the patient for at least 6 hours, and then we have to see either any kind of bleeding is there and not. Then what will be the follow-up care for this? In the follow-up care, assess the patient for nausea or pain, including back pain for lying, and provide medication as indicated. Assess the catheter insertion site, that if there is any kind of bleeding from the catheter site or not. Then instruct him to inform you immediately if he experiences chest discomfort or if other anginal symptoms. We have to review and discharge. We have to see the discharge orders, whether the patient and the family, including the activity restrictions, and educate them about signs and symptoms of complication, including MI or stroke and insertion site bleeding or infection. If it is indicated, then sorry. Inform the patient that he may need the blood urine nitrogen or the creatinine monitoring after the discharge, and then finally instruct him to follow up his primary care provider. Then review the discharge order with the patient and family, including the activity restrictions, and we have to educate them about the sign and symptoms or the complication, including MI or stroke and insertion site bleeding or infection. If indicated, then we have to inform the patient that he or she may need blood urea nitrogen creatinine monitoring after the discharge, and then ask the patient or instruct him to follow up with a primary care provider. But still, we have certain things that we have to take care of, like after this procedure, we just have to see, during the procedure we have to see the patient will have cardiac arrest or something, which is a very dangerous situation. Second thing, that we have to see either the patient is feeling dizzy, then we have to see whether our emergency trolley is ready or not. But we have to get prepared with the emergency trolley, the crash cart, etc., so that the BLS is performed. And then we have to see either the patient is fully recovered or not. Then we have to access for the bleeding site. We have to see either the patient is feeling comfortable or not, and ask the patient whether he or she is fine or not, and regular follow-up is to be provided. Now the assignment is to be given is, kindly write about the viral markers, that is cardiac viral markers, and what all are the values in this, and kindly write down the values. Alright, this one is the assignment. for JNM second year. Thanks and have a nice day. If you have any questions, kindly contact.